Hello there. This is Fimbly Jim, and welcome back to Darktide. This has been a long time coming, and honestly, I think myself, much like a lot of people, got burnt out just because of the sort of lack of diversity in class builds, and I don't know, it just didn't feel like there was enough to do to warrant coming back. But now with this update, I wasn't even planning to make a video right now, and then I tried this out, and it is crazy. I honestly, they made the Psyker feel like a Psyker from Warhammer lore. And everyone knows that that's my favorite class. And I had a mindset because I love the Surge Staff, and I had a mindset that I was going to go full Lightning. But after I spent a while just reading over everything, and let me tell you, there is a lot going on here. So I'm just going to show you the build really fast, and I'm going to jump into some gameplay because I'm actually really excited because I love Warhammer and I loved this game, and I'm glad that they're putting some more love into it, and they made all the classes feel good. I mean, I've been hearing the Ogrins feel great, the Zealots every class feels awesome. I think the Psyker is a bit of the highlight right now just because they got essentially every piece of their skill tree makes them into they have like new powers and stuff like that. But anyway, I digress. Let me show you what I'm talking about here. So this is the talent tree. It is massive. I mean, compared to what it used to be, it's huge. I could go into detail here on every single thing, but I feel like I want to do that in like a different video. But I'm just going to show you where I went here, what I picked originally. I'll show you the path I chose because I did have some extra points that I put into these here because replenishing toughness just makes you, stay alive. So I figured I would grab these, which I can explain as I go. But I'll just do what I usually do, So here we go. So I started by grabbing the critical hits, replenish 5% toughness. Why did I do this? I grabbed this because the weapon I'll be using is the Surge Staff, which it can critical hit, and it can critical hit quite often. And the staff that I have specifically is pretty much best in slot. I don't think I could really roll any better on anything. It is insanely OP. And how they changed the Surge Staff was it no longer chains to like 5 enemies. It only chains to 2, but it does a shitload of damage. It's now the damage dealing staff with it feels powerful, and they ended up putting the utility lightning on this here ability, Smite, which is it's how they cast it. You cast it from your hand. It's basically your G, your grenade now. So instead of just the one grenade, they now have 3, and they actually did give some good reason to use the original Brain Rupture if the people who like it want to use it. They have some modifications to it that make it even better. Fantastic. But anyway, so I grabbed that first. I ended up grabbing Warp Expenditure, which means every time, basically playing Psyker, when you're generating peril, you're generating toughness. And I found in my previous game, I did not take damage. I did not take damage at all. I was constantly replenishing toughness from this, from getting kills, a 10% chance to quell 10% peril on kill. This is also, you absolutely should be grabbing this. Perfect timing, 3% warp damage for 10 seconds on critical hits. Absolutely grab that. Amazing. And then these here are just your little filler things, but they all have something. Toughness is great. Take toughness. So that's basically here. I went through this part. These, I did not think I would like these as much as I am right now. I was leaning towards the Palpatine lightning. But, dude, a sail, you are throwing... I'm telling you, this is the whistling arrow from the Guardians of the Galaxy. You are... And when you grab this, it pierces targets, more targets. And with the cooldown, dude, these things are crazy. I'm telling you, this build I have is designed to deal with single targets, and it's designed to deal with hordes. You have everything in your kit to deal with everything. And it feels powerful. I cannot emphasize enough that this is probably my favorite change. This ability is insanely fun. And then we get the 5% toughness damage reduction. Great. Always, I mean, it's just our transition, so we'll grab that. Between these two, I still choose the movement speed is not reduced while quelling peril. Nowadays, in the past, this was regarded by a lot of people as like a waste of a slot because you had such limited options to begin with. They had like 5 options, basically. 3 options in each tree, or 6 options, you know what I mean? Like there were 6 pillars, 3 options in each. It wasn't very much. I love this thing. It just feels good. It just feels nice to not be slowed down while you're quelling your peril. And I didn't personally feel like this was good because I'm never gonna not use warp-based kills. I am purely magic when I play Psyker. Everyone, you guys know that I only put my energy into using my magic, and now it's rewarded. And so this is just nice. And then toughness replenishment for you and allies in coherency. That's great. It's fantastic because it's also for you. And I went here. I skipped over these two. I went to this. Kinetic Presence, which is just a flat 10% damage to elites and enemies for myself and allies in coherency range. So this is just a 10% damage buff. These are great too. I honestly would have grabbed this. The only reason I didn't grab this is I wanted Venting Shriek. So let me just show you this really quick. I went to here. I grabbed Kinetic Presence. I grabbed one with the warp, so I gained toughness damage reduction of 10 to 33% based on my current peril, and then -5 peril generation. Great. But the reason was I wanted this. Now, this is the exact same ability, basically, that the Psyker had to vent peril, and I think there's absolutely no reason to take anything other than it, in my opinion. These are still great. It depends on how you're playing Psyker. How I play Psyker is I am like a Tesla coil. I am never not casting. I am spam casting the whole time. I'm guessing if you want to play more of a support role, you could definitely take the shield, sort of dome, kind of similar to like Deep Rock Galactic, where you have a bubble shield for reviving people. It's great. Scryer's Gaze is interesting. I am not fully sure of how good this could be. I'm sure it could be crazy. But I personally, it's just a little too it has its cooldown's kind of high. I mean, this has a 30-second cooldown too, but I don't know. I could see this being really good, but I personally I love, and the changes they added to it. This is what caught my eye right here. This right here. Now, Venting Shriek now decreases peril generation by 1% for each enemy hit. So if you are like so this not only gets rid of your peril, but it applies a buff to you that makes you consume less peril, so you can keep ripping your spells and going crazy. And then this right here is what I would always use to begin with, which was Venting Shriek, which applies Soul Blaze to your targets. Now, this is just great. I'm going to be honest, though. This is almost worthless when you have this. And you'll see what I'm talking about when I get into a game. This is crazy. I by far my favorite addition to the game. I love this to death. Please do not change it. It feels so good to use. And I love it so much. So, but then we go to peril generation, 10% health, and critical hit chance. This basically, you can kind of follow my row here. I went like this. I ended up adding more here, like grabbing these when I had leftover points. But originally, I wanted this middle row. So this middle row is empowered psionics. So kills have a 7.5% chance to empower your next blitz. Your blitz being these abilities right here. And since I use this so much, which I never used my brain burst before, like basically ever, except for bosses, of course. But now I use it all the time. And down here, this essentially, when I'm using Assail, it has 100% peril cost reduction, and the damage is increased to 150. So you literally just can rip this thing like crazy. And so what you grab here is 20% damage from all sources based on your current peril. So the higher the peril, the more damage you do. It's great. 15 toughness. Never gonna pass that up. That's great. We grab empowered psionics. Psychic leeching. Using your blitz while empowered psionics is active replenishes toughness. So you are just dialing your toughness. There's like, it's almost to the point where I'm like, I almost feel like it's borderline unnecessary. But just for the survivability, it's great. Now I will say you will get one shot. I have been one shot before by the big crusher guys with the armor. I've been one shot by them, so you just got to be careful. But this is amazing. It's super good, and the fact that it helps your allies is great. And this, there's two here. You can either get a guaranteed chance to gain the empowered psionics on an elite kill, or I personally opted for the 12% chance in general because there's a lot of like non-elite enemies and they're more abundant than elite enemies. So I don't know the exact math because this is too new, but I would wager this occurs more often than this. Because as you go through a level, you can just essentially get this all the time from random sources, just little guys here and there, yada yada, you know that. But then this right here is you can now hold up to 3 stacks of empowered psionics. So I'm gonna be honest, I don't know. I do not know what that means exactly. If this means you can hold 3 stacks, as in your empowered can go up to, if that damage can go up to, what, 300? Or, sorry, not 300, 450? I don't know. If that's what it is, this is crazy. But, and then we're grabbing this, Puppet Master. I didn't really care for this very much, but what I did care for was this. Increase Quell Speed by 30%. And then Toughness Damage Reduction. But this is nuts. This is super good. And pair that with my staff that already has crazy damage, or crazy Quell Speed. Dude, it is probably the fastest I've ever... It first of all, charges near instantly. Probably half a second or less. And it quells in maybe a second or two. It's so good. It's so much fun. My loadout here, I have this Blaze Force sword that I will not be using at all, pretty much. So if you want a video on that, it's not going to be this one. But I'm going to show you my Surge Staff, my pride and joy. This was my highest rolled staff I've ever had, with near perfect on everything here. I almost want the critical bonus to be higher now. But... honestly, it's your personal choice. 80% charge rate, Quell Speed near max, Warp Resistance near max, Damage near max, and then 25% towards these guys, which are the only 2 enemies you're really going to want to use this staff on anyway to begin with. But now, look at that damage. Look at that damage now. Like, it's so good. I want to find, like, a weapon. Like, look at this. The Void Strike does this much damage. This does this much. This is a chain. I mean, I guess this will technically hit more enemies. But this is a CC tool and a damage tool. But it's now considered more of a single target, which is like 1 to 2 targets because it can chain to one other person. But then I have a Warp Nexus at tier 3, which is gain 4.5 to 18% critical strike based on your current level of peril. This is probably the best. These two, I would say, are... I mean, this is obviously not tier 4, but these are the best you can find for the Surge Staff, because this reduces your charge time on secondary attacks, and they had to reduce it because they reduced the charge time for all staffs. They didn't really do much with the Purgatus staff, although I do notice this damage is higher than I remember it being. I remember it was somewhere like 16 or 17, so that's a pretty noticeable buff, like something like a 15% damage increase, which is pretty good, nothing to scoff at. But still, we're going to be rocking the Surge Staff. That's enough talking. Also, I'm wearing a different outfit. I wore it because of a cape. I also like the sort of crazy-looking Psyker look here. But we're going with the cape instead of the usual look. So, yeah, that is everything that I have witnessed so far. That I'm just going to stop talking and show you. Let's just jump right in. You guys are in for a treat. All right, here we go. I'm actually glad this lobby, the other Psyker, is using other stuff, because I had a lobby that was all Psykers using all of these. And look how sick they look. Like, they look so good. They look so good. And the voice lines for this weapon are so cool. Oh, you can actually inspect them. I'm just gonna, like... You feel like you have magic now, whereas before... I mean, this, you just like have... It's, like, dude, it's so cool. I'm just gonna hit them. We're just gonna do this, and we're gonna keep sending them. These things go... I mean, I'm not an expert on them just yet, but, like... I'm gonna, like, look at this. Oh, let's just... And that's that purple lightning is the other ability, not the one that I'm using. But look at this. Look at the red marks. Red marks. Red marks. I'm killing things now. I actually do damage. It's... I don't even know if this is the right way. I don't even know. Oh, they're dead. Okay. Is this the right way? It looks to be the right way. Seize the grimoires. And I'm gonna, like, I want to cover all... This is not the right way. I'm going the incorrect way. Oopsies. Just get rid of these guys. And my charge time is near instant. Let's just... There you go. Alright, see ya. Wait, was that the right way? I'm losing my mind right now. This didn't seem like the right way. Like, look at that. Oh, it took his arm off. It's awesome. Okay, this is the right way. I was just foolish. I want a horde. Give me a horde and I can... Oh, I love it. They're like literally, they're just whistling arrows. Now you can aim. You can hold to target and... Oh. Oh, I lied. Now I use my staff or my sword. Sorry, guys. Oh. Look at this. Look at this.
Is that envy I have?
You just... Oh, I'm coming, bro. Don't worry. I'm coming. Yeah, I'm coming. Don't worry. Here it comes.
I've seen worse.
Let me just do a little bit of that. I'm gonna just keep hitting them. It's just... Oh my god, it's the most satisfying thing in the entire world. It's enough. Like, I've never experienced a magic ability like this. That it's... Look at this. Oh, yeah. Just rip them apart with, like, what is this? 5 or 6 like, it's crazy. The whistling arrow. You want a game where you can play with the whistling arrow? Now this is the game for it. Now, the 2 lightning spells, I mean, you can do, the lightning hand spell, what I read about it says that you can channel it so it's a beam of lightning, or you can do, like, bursts of it, which do a lot more single target damage, so it actually has, multiple different uses, which is really cool to hear. See, like, he's stunning them, and, I threw my little things at him. So I just like this, and now they're all dead. And we'll just... Oh, good. Oh boy, a little rusty, Now I don't know why I would want to target. Targeting's for babies. There we go, and we're just going to keep doing damage to it, and doing pretty good damage for a Surge Staff into a Plague Ogren. And it's dead. And it's dead. Now, it feels like they reduced the health of everyone while also increasing the power of everyone, because you definitely die faster. A lot faster. And there's definitely enemies that can one-shot you as the Psyker. But, that being said, you can just eviscerate, like, every enemy in the game. Just, oh, hey. Hang on, you're in my way, bro. Oh, the dog's still gonna... Oh my god, the dog missed for the first time ever! Oh no, I killed it, that's why. Okay. And I think the Surge Staff is better. I think the Surge Staff is way better. It feels better. Honestly, I like its role more as a... I like the role for all the weapons as damage dealing instead of, you know, one being just a support tool. I feel like it was kind of lame that the Surge Staff being like... If you wanted to be like a lightning wielding maniac, you kind of had to... You couldn't do it because it was a support weapon, and doing well with it required basically like you had to. I'll just do this. It's okay. It's okay, guys. It's okay. It's okay, guys.
Strain yourself, sibling.
Oh, I'm not straining at all, actually. I'm not even losing, toughness. Let me just get rid of everything here. Oh, yeah, nice. And they're all dead. What horde? This was my idea for the moment I started looking at, like, all this stuff. I thought that you could easily make a build where you can essentially deal with every enemy in the game. And you have no... Because previously with the Psyker is you kind of had to decide, do you want to be able to deal with hordes, or do you want to be able to deal with single targets? And you couldn't really have both that much. Like, you kind of could with Brain Burst, but not really. But now it feels more like... I don't know. It feels like there's more options to deal with both, which is nice. And the little, oh, hey. We'll just get rid of you. I don't want to deal with you. It feels like I'm gonna have to play on... I have to play on the max difficulty now, because I usually play on Heresy, just because Damnation is... used to be a lot, and I'm sure it still is, because, like I said, you take way more damage. I'm so sure you do. You could... Oh. Oh. Well, I don't have Brain Burst, but I do have these. Which they aren't really great against single target, so that's where your weakness is. But supposedly... Well, I'm not... It doesn't seem like I'm trying my best here. I just like that you don't have to, like, one thing I really hate is, like, I don't know, using the little fart like this. I hate using that, because it doesn't feel like magic. It feels like a gun. I don't want to use a gun, I'm playing a wizard, you know? Playing the wizard class, I want to use magic and be all, like, flashy and cool. And see that I was I don't think my toughness has really gone down. But even still, like
100 rotten souls coming this way.
Oh hey. Oh, I messed up. I'm gonna die from this. Got too excited. Sorry, friends. Oh, that was sweet. I was gonna do this. Kind of feel like Gambit a little bit. Yeah, dude, it just feels so good. I really didn't expect to like the little these things, the blades, but they feel incredible. They feel incredible. So the only, in true Psyker nature, your only real threat is yourself, which is why I went down. Otherwise, it's generally just you just lightning people to death. If you play with lightning, of course. I genuinely think that the Surge Staff has become the best staff for the Psyker now. But I still felt that way before, but you know, now it. So I just feel like the Psyker has really become the what it was meant to be, as in like the damage dealing, like the squishy DPS, where you basically can get one tapped, but you know, now it feels better. It feels more akin to what the Psyker should be. But all the classes seem to be now in a really good place, where I don't think it's really accurate to say any one is the best. Which is, I think, exactly how a game like this should be. Have all the classes be OP and just make the game hard as fuck. And when you do that, like, it's... Like, look, I just love it. Like, all the red hit markers, gimme, that's awesome.
control.
Data flow resuming.
I like a little, you know, I like being a little bit brainless with, like, that's why I love the surge staff and the these little homing missiles, because they home in to a small degree. It's obviously not like a pinpoint. Are they getting bloodier?
Cypher exfiltration faltering. Connection lost. Compensate.
I can't tell if they're getting bloodier. I don't think so.
Here, a present, just for you.
Let's get rid of everything.
Data interrogation imminent.
Oh boy.
Crypt key clearance elevated.
The Psyker now has a has the equivalent of the bolter. It seems good against basically everything. Oh, let's still get rid of that thing. And the lightning staff still feels great. Feels better, in my opinion. Oh, sniper. Sniper not doing so good. I've also noticed like healing is far less common. Far less. And see, I'm one hit nearly killed me. And I do not exactly have a means to deal with him. Push him away still, because we can still do that with the lightning staff.
I have a gift for you.
Look at this, dude. It is just... kudos to the developers, man. Good job, Fat Shark. Oh, and I spoke too soon. In hindsight, I should have put it on the elevator, but you know what? You know what? It's fine.
Find you.
One thing I will say is the performance is still, you know, it's still okay. I don't know what I'm getting right now. Let's check. 74 FPS, it's fine. I mean,
I suppose it's
I see people with like crazy FPS, but you know, I'm not one to complain about that when they've done this much. This feels redundant though. Aiming with this feels silly almost.
No, don't try to hide.
I love the voice lines for it too.
A mutant. I had a truly happening earlier.
And that's basically how I used the surge staff to begin with, like just spam tapping it, and now it's actually like you're spam tapping it now, you actually get full charge because of, well, it's also has to do a little bit, this is what an end game build looks like, right? Because I've played this game a lot and I've tried to make the best possible staff, and so this isn't exactly just what, you know, the Psyker's staff will always look like. I'm sure it'll be close, but not exactly as crazy until you get the correct stats for it. So, you know, it's not something that's OP out the gate, at least with the staff. Psyker just feels great now. And Ogren now has a similar way to clear hordes by throwing a tactical nuke. The box of grenades now is actually a box of grenades instead of a box that he throws. And see, these guys are the basically the single targets that we would be talking about, that we, you know, that is our not as smooth, but they are now dead. And I see, I love the voice lines for this. It just sounds exactly like you'd think somebody that has a handful of whistling arrows would sound. And honestly, I don't think there's anything I miss. Like, they took some stuff away. I genuinely don't think there's anything I miss. And there's the one time I'll use that dumb ability. The mouse one attack.
That's better. No more angry thoughts. Sniper, see?
They just need to jam these levels absolutely filled with enemies. And so I've always been confused about why you would ever like nerf classes or things in games that are completely PvE and there's no PvP aspects. Because like in the past, not that they've nerfed anything at this point, they basically just buffed the shit out of everyone. But I think they should just make the levels harder. I think that would be the correct move. And then make everyone OP.
He got the bomber! We don't have to worry about that sniper! Critical target! The decay consumed!
It is a good feeling to be back in this game, though, I'm not gonna lie. I always liked it. It was just like, I don't know, at a certain point you've done everything. And seeing this is now like cool. I can experiment with builds and things like that. And there's also they have tabs now for different builds, so you don't have to like you could have one build that's because there's so much they don't want you to like, and you can respec as many times as you want. There's no like limits or anything like that, and you can do it just on the fly. So you can't. There's no of that dumb like oh you need like a currency to. Whistling arrows. Loki feel like a summoner.
Seek, destroy! Yeah!
And, I mean, you don't have unlimited of them, obviously. But you have a lot of them. One thing I don't... Oh, I see at the bottom. I spoke too soon. Oh, wow. A little bit of that action. And that is why I prefer to have the sort of like breath attack. Gotta be careful though, it does use a lot of peril. I'm not used to the timing for that. Oh, realign this. So this is different. This didn't used to be like this. I'm playing a lot of Deep Rock, so I keep sometimes accidentally pressing the F key to like throw a torch so I could see better, and then using my ability. Like that is, dude, and it gives them. It's just you feel like a powerhouse now, dude. You feel like a powerhouse. And this is also, keep in mind, I have like basically my whole skill tree filled out with what I would pick for this. And I don't know everything just yet, but currently this feels incredible. So I don't know if I would change much of it. Although I will try other stuff. Like there's now so many build options. Like you could do a support psyker, you could do you know, pure damage like what I'm kind of doing with a little bit of survivability. Whoa, that didn't get it. That's a new animation too. Oh, it's actually, it's white now. Oh. Come on. Gotta get the boys a second to get some kills before I just show up with my, oopsies. Oh boy. Just get rid of everything. The staff feels better. You literally do not even notice that you don't have... What is happening? You don't even notice that you don't have 5 chains. You didn't do it so much.
That's the multi ending. No more talk flavor. Raising shield.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Whoopsies. And I got that. Look at that. Now with the full outfit, here we go. Anyway, that has been the new Psyker showcase. I am going to be playing the shit out of this game, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Please let me know if you do. I would like to come back to this and try it some more, so if you would like to see more of this, please let me know. I hope you guys have a good day wherever you are. Please drive and walk safe wherever you do go, and please be nice to yourself and kind to others, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye.